We are filming here at Car Cave USA. Website's carcaveusa.com. Phone number is 803-262-4742. And sorry, there's a lot of information here. I like to do single shot, walk around the car, so there's no editing and cutting. It's real. I talk through the research of what I've done. Mainly it's on the history of the car. If you're wanting to buy one of these, there's a lot of info out there on Google. And a lot of our cars, so I try and walk through what I know history-wise, maintenance file, show you kind of around the car, the paint, different areas, background. So we'll get started over here on our 1970 Lancia, not Lancia. My Italian friends will be angry if you say that. Fulvia 1.6 HF or 1600 HF Rallye Fanalone. So that means in Italian, big lights. Has big lights up front. It does have the 1.6 V4. These were the FIA Group 4 king back in the day. If you've never driven one, we actually have another one you can see peeking back there. So most shops usually don't have multiple. Car Cave in general, we have locations overseas. We're really familiar with these cars. It's kind of an internal joke. Our friend and proprietor of our Belgium location, Roel, these are his kryptonite. So he owns a couple. He's always had some. I've had one of these in the past, another Fulvia. We've worked on them, so we're knowledgeable. We did do a background check, went to our Fulvia Lancia expert and asked to see if it was numbers matching. So feedback came back that yes, this is a numbers matching car from the motor. And well done. So it's documented back to new. It was a Sicilian car. I know it traded hands in Palermo, which we visited here recently. It was bought by a collector in 2018, then almost 90 grand spent, not on the aesthetics, but on the mechanical. So it had a motor rebuild, it had a clutch, had steering gearbox rebuild, carb rebuild, suspension rebuild, everything was gone through. We actually drove it home the 5 hours when we bought it. So we took it over the road, immediately checked fluids. It was well serviced, well kept, clean car. I can't say enough about it. They're fun to drive. It is a whole different driving experience when you see how far forward the motor sits and being front wheel drive and a dog leg 5-speed. So blast to drive. I'd kind of bought it because I'd missed driving one. So that came into play. And then your other number, which is down here, you can't see on video, but we'll get you pictures, is the engine number. So checked it out, numbers matching, full documented history going back to new, including maintenance and service records. All the paint, bright work shows well. The alloy wheels are in good shape. They're the Pirelli vintage series of tires, the 13-inch. We'll get the hood shut here. We're definitely going to do some driving videos for you, just not tonight here by myself. So we'll get to that on another video. That was the hood latch popping in there. So I've driven a couple times so far. I want to take it out more. We're going to take it to the Hilton Head Concourse d'Elegance this weekend. Drive her down there. We don't tow our stuff. We drive them there. It's participated in a lot of events, and given it stayed in Sicily till being exported over to collectors in the States, came from a dry climate. So you're not worried about the rust that these typically have, around the rear glass and the rockers, the doors. You can see everything's clean. The dash is intact. All the wood grain's in good shape. Looks like carpets have been redone some point in its life. I'm gonna assume the seats. You have the ASI rear placard. You do have water temp, oil pressure, Benzina. You have tach. And also speedometer over there. And then for some reason the oil temp's over on this side. I need to dive in. You have the hood release underneath and your choke, and then your air controls, your center switches. And you can see you have a little split right here, but there's nothing on this car, because to get one of these mechanically sound and sorted that would prevent me from owning this, which I do, and detract from the ownership of it. It is made to drive. You have the Lexane or Plexi rear glass. They pop out. You can can see some of its history of what it's done in the past for races, which I put in the write-up. So multiple different years that it participated and different races, you know, over 30 different years in Italy. Trunk, we'll get it pulled apart in pictures and pull the mat up, full-size spare. There's a tire cover over it. I just put it to the side. You have your toolkit here, which I'll get pictures of, and have your jack. So trunk is all in good shape. The rear trunk lid, you know, all your weather stripping is malleable, it's soft. Like I said, this car has been gone through, it's been well taken care of and well loved. And that is the mechanism here that you hear clicking that releases it. Everything shuts nicely. Someone adapted the rear plate bracket to hold a US style plate. All the lights work, everything's functional. Like I said, I can't say enough about the level of the car. And while we're on it, before we get into the inside over here, we'll shut this door. We'll go over to the old records. So you have your original registration. I don't know if they call it a folder or file. Working on translating Italian. So it's in my write-up. You can see all the tax stamps, all the history, the export in 2015. It said to Great Britannia. I'm going to screw that up. They're going to be mad at me. So it went over to Great Britain and then it was exported immediately to the US. So the export over here says entry date October 8th, 2015. It says September 29th it was going to Great Britain, 2015. So I'm assuming it actually just went to the US, not Great Britain. But it did get exported then out of Italy. So like I said, we'll translate all this. It was sold in May of 1970, new. It was, I think, Marsala, which we visited before, which is cool. The service receipts going all the way across, you can see the original sales invoice of 2018 for $97,000, and then the various receipts for coolant hoses, head gasket, water pump, cam, chain tensioner rod, coolant hose, gear oil, shock bushing absorber, brake flex hose. You go through the whole thing and add them all up, and it was close to $90,000. So we'll send that over for review. We don't have to line item everything just in the video, but the lines on the car are beautiful. And knowing that fresh off a purchase, we did a 5-hour road trip. We're about to do another 5 hours round trip in her. So perfect road trip car. Mr. Kryptonite, I guess Superman, if he's affected by kryptonite, his weakness. Roll, he regularly road trips his, and they're very cool car to take over the road. All the rims are straight, impeccable shape. Like I said, rocker's clean. I would say this is the best example on the market with the most time and love spent to get it back into great mechanical condition. It would make anyone happy. I think it was a true treat to be able to drive it so far. See all the wood grains in good condition. Like I said, we'll photo everything too, so you can review the photos. I haven't done them yet. Your visor's in good shape, headliner's clean. So, steering wheel feels good. Your dog leg. So, you can hear it shift. Hear that sound, it just, it's analog. It feels good. It's a blast to drive. If you want to add something rare, different, that you're never going to see on the road to your collection, the Fulvia is one of them. The Fanalone, you're not going to see anyone else driving one. We would highly recommend it. You have questions, reach out. We have full shop and back. We're about to give a maintenance run around on the Fulvia back there. We do have full showroom, shop. It's a cool setup here. Our shop's the same size as our showroom, but we like unique cars. Fiat 500 also came from Sicily. So great gentleman down there did it. The C4 has 11,000 miles. This only had 14. one family owned South Carolina car. We redeemed the Greek V8 low mileage Defender, old 427 Corvette. We have a low mileage 3000 GT VR4 6-speed. The Fulvia, the 2002, you have a Renault 5 GT Turbo, a Z3M Coupe, a Fiat Uno Turbo. This Jag just showed up with the AJ16S supercharged and manual transmission. We do a lot of Defenders, a lot of diesels. You can see them floating around here. One owner Super here in the corner, nice old two-door Tahoe, NAS Defender, a white TD5 Defender, Wagoneer, one owner Bronco. So see the Alfa Romeo 1750, Berlina, and Isetta, a Duchevaux. So we like to mix it up here. This isn't out of our wheelhouse. Call with any questions. It's Car Cave USA. It's either Chris or Jake who'll answer the phone. We'd love to have you out. Just talk shop, drive a car, hopefully buy something. If not, you're still welcome to come visit. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, congratulations. We have a surprise for you. Just mention that you made it to the very end.